Hello and welcome. I am Matt Roddy, and this is the Greater Prescott podcast, where we talk about, you guessed it, all things Greater Prescott. Today, I am super excited to be at Soul Ride Bike Shop with Cina and Kate. You guys, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thanks
for
coming.
The shop's not even open, and you opened it up for me, so I'm super excited.
It's awesome to have you.
So, just to set the context, I moved to Prescott 2 years ago. I am slowly learning there are very vibrant sub-communities here in the Greater Prescott area, and one of them is mountain biking. So I've always been interested in learning more about it, and that's why I was really excited to get a bike shop on so that you guys, with your knowledge and interest and passion for mountain biking, can speak to it. And obviously you have the shop, and we will talk about that as well.
Cool.
So thanks again.
Yeah,
our pleasure.
So who wants to begin? I just want you guys to kind of set the context, where you're born and raised, some of the stuff you did when you were kids. I want people to get a flavor of who you are. Go for it, Kate.
All right.
I'm
from the East Coast. I was born and raised in a tiny town in the western side of New York State.
Okay.
And I grew up in Concord grape country. So it was very, I hiked, I mountain biked a little. It wasn't like so big, but we kind of hit some dirt.
Okay.
I was a super tomboy, the youngest of 5, and always had an adventurous spirit and wanted to move out west. And I've lived all over the West, but lived in Prescott, has been home for the last 16 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you spent a lot of your childhood outdoors.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Even in the cold weather?
Even in the cold weather.
I feel like when my kids now, they could care less if it's cold or hot.
Yeah.
They just like being outside.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah.
It feels so good.
I'm still like that.
Good.
Yeah. I
Good,
can't
good.
stand. I get depressed if I'm inside too long.
More specifically, what'd you do when you were a kid?
When I was a kid?
Yeah.
I was super social.
You mean you were a tomboy? Did you play sports?
I did. I mountain biked. I ran track.
Yeah.
I did cross country.
Did you set any records?
No. No. I played a little soccer.
Okay.
I loved just growing plants and hanging out with my family and my friends and going on adventures and live music, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a musician at all?
No.
Okay, you just appreciate it.
I just appreciate it. Yeah.
Live music's awesome.
Yeah, I know. I miss it.
I know, right?
I know. That's great.
Well said.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my name is Cina, and I grew up in Southern California. I pretty much same kind of concept. I was outside all the time.
Okay.
So I grew up snowboarding. I did play soccer. I played
Where
a little
did
bit
you
of t-ball.
snowboard?
I lived in a small town called Wrightwood, California.
Okay.
So we had 3 ski hills. We had Holiday Hills, Ski Summit, and Mountain High.
Okay.
Yep. And so we would actually just I would walk down the street and we'd take a bus up. And then all through elementary school I'm talking with my hands a lot.
Good.
We had like a ski school program.
Okay.
So starting from like kindergarten on, we would leave school and we'd go up and ski, and eventually it turned into like the race team.
Okay.
And I raced for a little while, and then I discovered snowboarding.
Yep.
And there weren't really any women snowboarding back then.
Okay.
It was I was 14.
You were early in the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and then I did a little bit of competing with snowboarding, but I'm not a competitive person by nature, so it wasn't really my jam. But
when you skied, you said you did do some events.
We did, yeah. It was
What'd
just kind of part of the program. We did giant slalom.
Okay.
Giant slalom.
How fast did you go? Because isn't slalom, giant slalom?
Well, giant slalom is where the poles are set further apart. So there's slalom and then giant slalom. So slalom, there's tighter turns. Giant slalom is wider.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of outdoors going on here.
Sure.
Yeah.
I grew up in Tucson, and so it's fascinating to hear about people who grew up skiing, snowboarding, kind of in that mountainy type of thing, because I grew up in the desert, so it just is so foreign to me.
Yeah. They have great mountain biking in Tucson.
I wouldn't. Yeah. I mean, I've never done it. So
right.
I'm very naive when it comes to mountain biking, which, and now that I'm here in this area,
you should definitely take advantage of it while you live here, because it's
amen. Yeah. And I've got kids that I think that just love it like crazy. And so there you go. Okay, so keep going on your story. So you were out on the East Coast.
Yeah, and I really wanted to go to college in the West, and I eventually landed at Prescott College, and I stayed here for a very short time. I was a real traveler. Like,
gotcha.
I moved.
The adventure.
I moved all over. My poor parents, like, I mean, they kept just pushing me to go back to college, so I'd kind of tie that into my traveling, and I ended up getting my master's from Prescott College in counseling psychology, and a lot of like. You know, I've been kind of reflecting on that lately, but a lot of what I've learned from Prescott College gave me the courage actually to partner with Cina and start something a little bit different than, you know, how people traditionally show up in mountain biking. So, so I have a lot of gratitude for that, and I've been thinking about that a lot lately.
Yeah. That's cool.
One of the reasons I love hearing people's stories is because you begin to connect dots, just like you did. Like, hey, I did this, and all of a sudden I never thought I'd do that, but it kind of led to or gave me some courage to do that, and I think that's really important.
Yeah, for sure.
We all experience it.
Yeah.
I just like to get it on audio.
I love it. I love it.
When you came out to Prescott College for a short time, and then you kind of did some adventuring, bouncing around. What were you doing? Just were you finding jobs at a place that you want to move to?
I just would be like, I'd never really traveled the West before, so I was like, oh, I'd love to live in Oregon, and I wanted to check out Washington, and then California, and we lived in Colorado for a while. I met my husband. He ended up going to law school in Portland, so we lived in Portland for a long time, Ashland, Oregon for a long time, just doing outdoor rec and living our lives and enjoying life. And eventually we kind of landed back here.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had kids, and my parents fell in love with Prescott, and I'm super close to my family. And so it was nice to have, they actually moved here after I left, and they retired here from New York State, upstate New York, back to New York. And then we kind of followed because I wanted my kids to be close to them. And my husband's mom lived in Phoenix. She retired there. So she moved up, and we kind of have a little bit of a Mayberry thing going on. Like, we're all still here, and it's kind of, it's very sweet. And my kids are teenagers now, and so they know no different. Yeah.
Right. No, that's great. All right.
They want to go explore other places.
Good. So you've instilled that in them. I think that's really good. I think that can be a really healthy thing.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess maybe some people are cut out to, say, right after high school, to just start into a job and just to do it in the same old town.
Right.
But there's definitely something to be said for getting out and experiencing some things to start to figure things out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, at 18, who the heck really knew what they wanted to do?
Totally.
I still don't know.
Exactly, right? We're always recreating.
Yeah. All right, Cina.
Yes.
So after... You were still in Southern California after high school?
I was still in Southern California. Then I graduated high school, and I too kind of just went, and I didn't travel really far, but I moved to South Lake Tahoe, and I lived there and continued my love for snowboarding. Okay. And so I lived there.
Did you make money doing it? Or was it more just the love of being out there on the mountain?
No, just the love of the sport. So it's like kind of all I really knew. I grew up doing it. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go. I mean, like the day I graduated, I was like, see you later, Mom and Dad. And I moved with a friend, and we rented a house with a bunch of other people that worked at the ski hill, and
that's the life.
Yeah.
Some good memories from that.
Very good. And very good. I mean, I always worked, you know, I went to like the community college. I did a few things, but college really wasn't my jam.
Yeah.
I keep using the word jam.
Massage.
Yeah. So then I moved to San Diego.
Okay.
And that was a great experience as well. Lived by the beach, skateboarded.
Okay.
Didn't really surf.
Fun fact, I'm pretty athletic, good hand-eye coordination. I can't stand on a skateboard. So I didn't have
I just
one
wrote it on the
growing up,
boardwalk.
and
It wasn't anything
I can't
fancy.
skateboard worth anything. Okay.
She was like the girl in the bikini on the skateboard. You know.
Oh, I think I probably had shorts on though. I don't know.
Oh,
I actually wrote
yeah,
on the
come
bikini.
on.
Oh, that's funny.
How long were you in San Diego?
I was in San Diego for about 3 years.
Okay.
Yep. And so I've been in Prescott for 20.
Okay, so how did you end up here?
Yeah, it's kind of similar. My parents came out to Prescott and they fell in love with it, and then they bought some rental properties.
Great.
And so I actually had hurt my back from snowboarding. I had been in a couple bad ski accidents, and I didn't really start mountain biking until I moved here.
Okay.
But my parents,
Makes sense.
yeah, my parents lived here, and they were like, "Do you want to go out?" You know, because my back was hurt, and they said, "Do you want to go out to Prescott and live?" And I was like, "Where's that?"
Yeah.
I had never been this far out.
That's a lot of people's reaction.
Yeah, and then I lived here, and I went to massage school.
Okay.
And I opened up my own wellness center. So I
Okay.
had several therapists that worked for me, or with me, I should say, an acupuncturist, and I did that for 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you know, going into business with Kate, I mean, it was scary on all
course.
levels.
Of course.
But I definitely had I've opened up my own practice, so I had that. I think I've always kind of had that entrepreneurial,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
drive.
wasn't your first rodeo, although
Right.
of course it's going to be a little nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Anytime you do new things.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then
Gotcha.
we met through so I started mountain biking here, and then I met a wonderful group of ladies, and Kate and our friendship cultivated through really mountain biking. And then one day a phone call.
Yeah.
We were on the phone, and we were just like, we just loved biking so much. I know I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but
No.
But we
hated our jobs.
yeah, I mean, I was just burnt out. Kate was burnt
We were-
out, and we loved biking so much, and we're like, how can we share this with the world, right? You know,
Yeah.
our big dreams, our big business plan.
Yeah.
And we were like, let's just do it. And so we started out as doing our initial goal was to do like tours and classes.
Gotcha.
And so then we took all the necessary steps to get certified and all that kind of stuff.
What type of certs do you need? What are you referring to?
I mean, honestly, it's pretty loose.
Okay.
But we went and got trained through, at the time it was called IMBA, and they had a mountain bike training for coaches and stuff.
So more
and
for
so we went and got
knowledge,
certified.
I
But I think it's really important. I think, I see a lot of people who are like, I can ride a bike. It's no big deal. I'm just going to teach people how to ride a bike. And it can be super dangerous too. I mean, it is it's a great sport, but you can get really hurt. And so, we've kind of really prided ourselves on being fully insured, fully permitted. I feel like it's important to show up in the community in a way where you're paying your way and people can trust your name and trust what you're doing. Yeah.
And we worked really hard for that
we
too.
Really did, yeah. And we see, as it gets more popular, you can see people being like, hey, meet me at the park and I'm going to show you how to do XYZ, which is cool. I get it. It's great. There's no problem with it. But at the same time, if that person falls and they have
responsibility,
really hurt themselves and you have to make sure that you're going to help them out with their medical bills and that kind of, you just want to make sure people are okay and there's some continuity there.
I was going to say, yeah.
And if you're on our trails, that you pay the Prescott, the National Forests, and we pay every time we take someone out, we give a percentage of what we pay for our tour or our class back to Prescott, back to the forest, back to the trails. So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's back up a little bit.
Yeah, totally.
That's fine. Talk about how you started mountain biking early, it sounds like.
Kind of. I loved bikes. I loved being outside. I loved any kind of bike when I was a kid. I loved riding around my neighborhood. I would take it out and kind of trash around on some trails, but I wouldn't say it was mountain biking.
Okay.
And when I came here,
so it wasn't until you got here that
absolutely same
really
group
started
of women.
Okay.
I think one of the things that's unique is So when I started working in Prescott, I was a therapist and I worked with kids and kind of helped them adjust to daycare centers, and I also worked with women who had disordered eating, and that kind of stuff was super heavy.
It's very heavy.
And I was burnt out from that work. But the same group of women, you know, we would meet every, when we were younger, we would ride like every Wednesday night, and we would ride, you know, through the winter. I remember our water bottles freezing, and like we'd have our lights,
plastic
and, like,
bags over our shoes, just to keep our feet warm.
And it was just a riot. Like it was so fun.
We were kind of, I mean, we were just so new and naive and trying to figure it out. But we're like, this feels good, so we're just gonna keep doing it.
Yeah. So what was it about?
I think it was the
mountain
camaraderie
biking that really drew you in.
Yeah. Well, for me, it was. Like, I really fell in love with Prescott because I found mountain biking, because I had done like the snowboard, like the adrenaline sports.
Yes.
So when I moved here, my first couple years, I was like, what is here for me? What, you know, like, and then I found biking. I was like, oh, this is like, brings that same kind of like joy and and adrenaline and thrill and like the challenge, and you get slightly uncomfortable, and then you're like, it feels amazing when you're done. So all those emotions that are surrounded around it for me.
Sense.
Yeah, I mean, similar to Cina, I felt like, you know, I was a young mom. I had toddlers at home, and this was like something just for me. Yeah. And so I got to really explore the trails. The trail system here is incredible, and it's only gotten like bananas incredible since then.
Okay.
But it kind of mirrored life. So I had a lot of fear. I'm not one of those people that's like just goes for it. I have a lot of fear before I do something. So I had to kind of work through that, and then like hit a feature, and you'd start to feel really good about yourself. And for me, it kind of like pulled me into the next phase of my life, like gave me the courage to kind of do some of the things I wanted to do, to put myself first for like a couple hours out on the trail, you know. And so it was just everything for a while. Like, it was just so great. And like, the same group of women, like, we've had women in that group die of breast cancer. We've had divorce. We've had had babies. We've had, you know, all sorts of stuff. So it just has been like so wonderful. And also, like Cina said, you look around here and you're like, oh, like, all right, like, I don't really want to go drink on Whiskey Row or whatever, which is great. But so I'm like, okay, let's go like explore and have this other like experience. So it was just it's been phenomenal.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And I have kids too, and I forgot, not that I forgot I had kids, but I forgot that like
that component,
right, where it was just like you're like doing everything for your family, that it was a really great time to get together with my peers and go and do something fun and like laugh in the woods and like do ridiculous things. Lots of that's some really like be yourself outlet. Super fun moments.
You need the outlet.
Yeah. And then he always came back I always came back like a happier wife and
what a shocker.
Better mom and so and then teaching our kids to do that too, you know. I mean,
it's been amazing.
I bet. But so you said 14 and 17. How old are the kids all?
17. My son is 14 and my daughter just turned 17.
Okay, and your children?
14 and 17.
Oh man.
But my son is 17 and my daughter's 14.
Gotcha.
And, then it's
and we're flip flop.
Yeah.
But
that's
we're
a nice
all
connection.
We all hang out.
I mean, Cina's family is family to us, and we're family to her family. Like, it's really sweet.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really great.
Yeah.
All right. So what makes the Greater Prescott area such a rich mountain biking community?
The amount of single track I think that is offered for me, this is you know, just the places that you can explore and the diversity too. You know, you could go to like Emmanuel Pines and it's flowy, or you could go to the Ranch Trail and it's very cross country, and I mean, it's just a lot. There's so many different aspects
the
to
diversity.
Biking. And there's just like over 500 miles of single track or something ridiculous.
And single track meaning
like a single,
it's
like wide enough, like a hiking trail.
Okay,
right. So not a double, like a road would be like a double wide. Okay. Or like a Forest Service road. But even like the gravel biking here is great.
Okay.
And the terrain and the views. I mean, it really is pretty sweet. And you can get so much further faster on a mountain bike than you can hiking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is great.
You can see so much. Like I forget sometimes that people don't mountain bike, and you'll start saying, "Oh, you should go check out blah blah blah," and they're like, "Where is that?" And you think to yourself, "Oh, you've never been up. You haven't seen that little like special quartz area up there, or you've never seen
the chimneys, or the
homesteads. The old homesteads. You can see there's just cool chimneys way out in the forest, and there's just so much to see. Like there is so much to explore.
Yep.
And the community is fantastic. I mean, I think there's a lot that we offer. I think, when we first started Soul Ride, there was nothing for kids. There was a very small, there was NICA, but it was still pretty small.
Okay.
There was like no middle school program for mountain biking. There was, we started a kids summer camp. Like we really tried to pull people in from the community, and since then so many people have taken that concept and ran with it, and it's fantastic. Like Pimba does a kids ride. I mean, this is all pre-COVID, but I'm sure it'll all be back. But Pimba does a kids ride that they do. We always do our summer camps. We do, and they've just gotten so good because we've done them for so long now that we're like, we know about what works, what doesn't.
Totally.
We did like the first like ladies clinic, and there were like I'm kind of talking what Kate just said too, is that there just were no programs for kids, and so we saw that whole the need, what was missing, and it was kind of in our wheelhouse because we had kids and we wanted to get our kids into biking.
Makes sense.
So it just, it really did make sense.
Yeah.
And so just to see the amount of youth now in this community that's riding is blows my mind.
Yeah.
Good work, you guys.
I mean, it wasn't just us, but I think it was like
I think we played a big part in it.
Yeah, for sure. And it's part of the creativity of having a small business. It's like you think of an idea. There's no one really to say no. I mean, it's me and Cina. So we say, do we want to do it or not? And then we go with it. And now, since the shop has grown, we've developed a huge team here where they all have input and we work really well together. And I think women manage really well, and like we have great communication, and we're open to feedback, and we're open to change, and we kind of roll with the time. So that was started with those programs. That's
awesome.
And it's kind of blossomed into other areas.
And to backtrack just a little bit, like, and we started. So we've been open 5 years.
Okay.
We came out for the whiskey off-road, was kind of like our coming out.
Yeah.
And
so that would have been 2015.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we basically started out. I'll just do like a really quick. Do you care if I?
No. So just actually set the context. You guys own Soul Ride Bike Shop.
Yes.
And now you're going to tell a little bit of the story.
Absolutely.
Go for it.
Just really quick. We started out in literally in a closet that we rented for $100 a month. Okay. And we thought we were total ballers.
We were.
We got a downtown commercial space. And that lasted about, I don't know, a month or two. And then this cool little green building across the street from Park Plaza on Goodwin came up. So we moved over there, and it was 500 square feet. And then we moved here into the 230 South Montezuma location, which was, I don't know, it's doubled in size. And so just the evolution in 5 years, I'm super proud of us for that. Yeah.
I'm so excited to hear that you guys have been part of the movement in terms of educating people and bringing to light what is offered, and to put in kind of a platform to say, and here's how you can go experience it, whether it's with the kids or with the ladies groups or things. That just brings people in, and then all of a sudden,
for sure,
things start happening. And I think
in this industry, in the outdoor industry as a whole, for a long time, it's been dominated by men.
That makes sense.
It's so random that we're in such a small town, but we're like one of the only all-female, not husband and wife teams, but female-owned bike shops. There's a few peppered throughout the country, but it's pretty rare. And so we've been really lucky to partner and have people from outside of Prescott really believe in what we're doing, like, you know, quality bike products. They've really been big in supporting us and honoring us and like helping us grow our business. And I think like outside of Prescott, there's a little bit more of that movement. And then within Prescott, it's been interesting to see like just how our creativity and our impact can have an impact, but
I feel like we're pretty progressive in our way that we move and the way that we think, and it'd be awesome to have Prescott maybe, I don't want to use the word appreciate that, but sometimes like the way that we are, I'm going to back that up.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain it. Yeah, just
strike that. We're not even going to go there. It's interesting.
I was trying to elaborate on kind of what you were saying, but we're just we're movers and shakers.
Good.
And
good.
And I think too, like we really, one of the founding premises for our business model is to make people feel comfortable and make it feel like the sport is approachable. And so with that, like just basic concept is, you know, everything opens up, and from senior citizens to people who feel like kids to families, like a lot of those people, I think feel like, oh, you know, there's the whole bro culture of mountain biking, which is great, like super fun. I love to share a beer with those guys, but at the same time, like it can be a little threatening.
Exactly.
And I know when I first started mountain biking, like I remember just walking into a shop and not even really knowing any of the jargon and you know, but knowing that I kind of wanted to move my body and get on a bike again, and feeling super intimidated. And so, you know, we're really big on no bike shaming. Like there's no silly questions. You know, we start
make everybody feel welcome, and
for sure. And we start every tour or skills class with, you know, just check your ego, and you never have to apologize for anything. And I think and I'm sure that as a client, you have a lot to teach me, and as you know, as your guide or instructor, I have something to offer you. But keep a growth mindset and just kind of be open to learning. And so I think that really does help and resonate with a lot of people, and you know, you build it slowly over time. You know,
from someone who doesn't mountain bike, I think that it can be intimidating looking. I mean, these bikes behind us, they're big, they're strong, they're like, what am I going to need all that for, in a sense? And so there's this definite sense of like, I'm a little scared. So,
and you can oversell to someone. Like, you don't need a lot, like that bike right there. Like, there's a lot of stuff you don't need on that bike. And so to meet people where they're at, if they want something of, you know, like to match their price point and to match their skill level and to match our trails here in Prescott, right? I mean, we are going to build some downhill trails that are they're going to be amazing. It's going to be super fun. Can't wait. But right now we're primarily XC trails in Prescott, and so there's, you know, there's only so much you need to ride those trails. You know, you're not going to huck off a ton of stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or maybe you could, but most people aren't. You know,
and we have a great team here at the shop. We work really hard to bring people in that are the same like mindset too.
For the culture.
It really it's important. It's important to have people represent.
Important.
And everybody comes in and they're
so talk now, just speak directly to the bike shop, what you guys do here, what you offer here, and let everyone know.
Sure. So we do bike sales. We sell accessories. We sell, you know, all the food and all the lube and sealants and all that kind of stuff. And then we also do we're a full service repair shop, so you can bring your bike to have it serviced. And then we have a really incredible team of talented mechanics that do a lot of that work. And Cina and I do a lot of the community outreach for the shop. We manage and run the shop, the behind the scenes, kind of the boring stuff that nobody really wants to do at the computer. So
and we have some really good bike brands too that we worked really hard to get.
So
that.
Ibis, Revel. They're a new company out of Carbondale, Colorado, and they're just incredible. And the bikes, Revel, the bikes they're putting out are really progressive and wonderful. And they just have a really great team behind them. Ibis, they've been with us since the beginning. I mean, they believed in us when we were like a little tiny closet. And, you know, we love their bikes and their products, and we love working with them. Salsa is a brand through QBP, and they have just the full range of bikes. They're amazing. Kona, it's more of a boutique brand, but they have some really killer bikes, and they also have great entry-level bikes too for people who don't, you know, want to spend too much.
Well, and that's the other thing too is we try to keep all of our brands like with a really fair like price point. So for everybody who comes in, we have something to offer, where it's not like we're only selling like, you know, $10,000 bikes. You know, we have the $500
I'm sure you can get
bikes.
someone that bike, but obviously that's not even the right fit for 99% of people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our goal is to just, we love the sport so much that we want to just get people on bikes.
How can we help you?
Exactly. So however we can facilitate that.
Nice. All right. Great job on the bike shop, from a closet to this space.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, for sure. Cool.
Do you ever sit back and go, wow?
No. No. We constantly like talk. I mean, it is stressful to run a small business, you know, so there's a lot of you have to overcome in the beginning a lot of fear and a lot of doubt, and believe in that that our greatest asset is what we bring to the table, and then what our team brings to the table as well.
Thank God we had each other though, because I don't know if I would have talked myself out of like a million things. Oh, me too. So we have that like really great balance, and we both brought different things to the table. Like, and so when I wanted to like freak out and I can't do this, you know, Kate's like, we got this, and vice versa.
Exactly.
So it's really that part.
We're never really. I don't know that we've ever really maybe if we finished like a big build project, like we added the tap room, and when that was done we were like ching ching, that's so great. But or after a camp is over and we're like, nobody got hurt and everyone had a fantastic time, and the kids are happy and the parents are happy. We have those moments, but they're so fleeting, and we're always kind of like, what's next? How can we keep building our brand? How can we keep building our business? How can we keep our integrity and keep showing up in the community the way that we want to show up? That's all really important to us. So, because we raise our families here. So, a big part of what we do is creating our voice in the community the way that we want, we want our kids to see that. And it's been really great for all 4 of our kids to see us show up as business owners, as women in business, as entrepreneurs,
as people with integrity,
part of the community. And so that's a big part of what we do.
Good.
Yeah.
I like how you guys keep using the word community. I think it's vitally important that business owners somehow, some way get into the community, because that just stretches your tentacles in a sense and just gets you more exposure, and in a very positive way as well. And obviously it's great to be in the community, and people see that, and it comes back to you in a good way. We're not talking like just we got to get in the community just so we can make more money. No, it's to make a better community
and creating a culture. We're going to live here for a long time, and so we were like, how can we, make make Prescott like a cool place to live and keep our kids
and a place
here. I mean, hopefully they're going to obviously after high school, leave the coop and go live their own lives. But I mean, how can we have to live here. So what can we do to make this place like the best version of itself?
Yeah.
I'm so glad you guys are thinking in that direction. You've done it.
But I have to say, like, in the last, I think it's probably been hard for every small business, and certainly the bike industry has had a boom of people interested in riding, and it's been hard to keep bikes on the floor. And we get a lot of our products that are made in China and Taiwan, and so they have to ship across, and there's been all these issues, global issues. But I have to say too, people from Phoenix have been fantastic coming up and supporting the business, and really, like, it's not just Prescott anymore. you know? So I guess that would be the greater part of Prescott is that, you know, we are getting a lot of people from all over the Mountain West that come, and we've become kind of a little bit of a hub where they can come and get information, and we can turn them on to some of the cool stuff that's happening here. And, you know, we don't just promote our shops. Like, if we don't have something that they need, you know, we have other shops we work really closely with. We'll send them over there. Like, we want people to have a great experience here.
At the end of the day, you want people on a bike.
Yeah, and loving Prescott.
Riding it.
You know?
Yep. Because that's where the rubber meets the road, literally.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And if you can't do that, then close up shop.
Right. Yeah. Well, no.
We'll keep trying.
But you have to keep that integrity throughout the whole,
absolutely,
you know, business kind of model, right? Like, if your perspective changes from like what we initially, like, we started it because we loved it, and we have to continue that. Otherwise,
it's really easy for business owners who, like, generally they get into whatever business they're into because they're good at it / they like it. But then it starts to oftentimes lose its luster, so to speak, where they're just kind of, I mean, being a business owner is hard, especially, well, it doesn't matter how many people you have working for you, but especially if it's just one or two of you. Like, that's all you do.
Totally.
And so to keep the passion is really important.
Yeah.
Or else it's just hard to keep it up.
Yeah.
And be progressive and be in the community and keep moving.
And I think you have to always be evolving, right? So then our next thing was like, you know, oh wow, what would be so cool? Like, what are we seeing in Colorado? You know, and so we added a tap room. Okay. Because it just made sense. We were like, oh, people want to come and drink beer after a ride, so why don't we? Why don't we buy a liquor license? Open up a tap room, which was a lot of work at the time, but it just, people come in and they're like, wow, this is so cool. There's a bike shop with beer, and we get a lot of people who don't bike that just want to come and sit on the back patio, and they just love the vibe.
It's a sweet little patio.
So we're kind of it's sweet. We get the best of both worlds there.
And I think in the beginning when we started, we were like, oh, okay, now we have to run 2 businesses, and we're going to be a tap room too, and and then we really kind of took a step back and said, no, like, how does this work for us? So we close at 6. I mean, this is not a place to come get crunk, you know. It's like you come after a ride. You come after a ride.
You have an hour.
You have a beer or two. Yeah, but it's, you know, we try to create it to be like a place where you can come and relax, and then it's nice because sometimes people will go have a beer and then they can come in and they're a little disarmed and they can ask us the questions they probably were thinking, you know, when they walked by. So
but that is true. We were, when we first opened, we're like, oh, now we're a bar. But we weren't really. And exactly what Kate said.
You're not cut out to be a bar.
Yeah. No. Like, I think we were open till like 9, and we're like, this is ridiculous. Because then we had to like we had like the front of the shop. Yeah. So it just makes sense to, like, we're kind of a day drinking establishment.
Whiskey Row's right down the street.
For better or worse. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, the tap room's so cool and such a unique component that you guys have brought in. Good job to make it happen.
So that's part of the, like, when like, I think things in business start to slow down, we're like, what can we add to this? What can we do different? Like, we've done kids camps and ladies, and then other people started doing those programs. So we're like, okay, what's our next step? I think you always have to be evolving and moving forward. And
I agree.
And prior to COVID, we had like a whole calendar of really cool events that we've started to kind of bring back in, but we did like a mechanic series where people are talking about like different components on the bike and how to fix them, and so to empower people to be able to like take care of their own bikes.
And they were all free.
They're all free. We do a free movie night that we just did 3 Fridays in a row. It was really fun, and we'll probably take a little break, but we'll bring it back. And you know, we just try to keep it fresh and keep offering something that's really interesting and cool and unique. And so, we'll see what the future holds. Yeah.
Keep educating people too. I think that's one of the biggest things business owners can do.
Totally.
Educate people for free. Because guess who they're going to come to when they don't want to do something? They're
sure.
going to come to you.
Yeah.
Well, and we also do it. So what we do is we do a free class, and if they purchase anything that night that was relevant to the class or not, or they get 10% off. So it's an incentive, right?
Absolutely.
to get, you know, how to put stands in your tube. I mean, all that stuff, maintaining your bike is really important.
It's some work.
So you don't have to bring it in, although we do love to see everybody.
Of course.
But if you can take, I mean, it is a really nice piece of equipment, so it's important to know how to take care of it.
Or we'll bring people in from the community that have done something really amazing, like Caitlin Boyle, after she won her single speed worlds, came in and did a whole really cool slideshow, and then she had a horrific car accident that took her off her bike for a while, and it was super just empowering and touching and motivating, and it was just a really special evening. We've had a couple people come in and do talks like that. Awesome. Back at talking about the whiskey off-road or their experience as women in the business. And then we have men too that come in and talk about Kurt Ruffsnyder came in and talked about his business,
backpacking routes, and so there's so many different
things you can do.
Different styles of riding that you can do. There's like downhill, there's cross country, there's endurance, there's so to get all that different perspective from different people's style of riding is very interesting too.
And we try to bring people in too from other parts of the country that are doing really cool things. So, you know, Cina and I are coaches, but we really like to just like motivate people to get up and riding on their bikes. So we're really great at catching people at the beginning of their bike journey. But we brought in Angie Weston, who just started her business called
Radical Roots
in Bellingham, Washington, and she's doing amazing things. And she did like a whole coach series for us. And you know, some people from Prescott actually then went up to Washington and took a class with her, and she brought their you know, she brought their skill level to the next component. So it's really, you know, it's been great. And I have to say women in this industry really do that well for each other. Like Lindsay Richter, when she's doing Live Ladies All Ride, she took us under her wing, and, you know, we were coaching for her for a couple camps that she did nearby in Sedona. And we just learned a ton about, you know, how important it is to just show up and be authentic, and the right people will come to you.
That's it.
And the women in this industry are awesome. I mean, they're just they're fun, and they're real, and
it's great.
They're kind of roots, you know. It's like fun. They're good people.
And
everybody. I mean, like men in this business too.
Because it's real. Like people just get a sense of who you are and what you do and why you do it.
Totally.
Well said. Good job on this. Just the bike shop, the culture. I mean, the more you can do to develop and be a part of the culture, the more I think not only fun you have, but success, whether it's monetary or whatever.
Nobody gets into the bike industry for money.
That's what I have heard that.
I mean, we're so, you know, a bike shop is so far down the pecking line of like money that, you know, sometimes people will be like, hey, can you give me a couple $100 off this? I'm like, then we make nothing.
Exactly.
Like that's basically.
I mean, we try to do the best we can.
Sure, of course. We definitely do. Yeah, for sure. But it's great.
Okay.
I mean, you definitely do it for the love of the sport, not you said, not to get rich.
No,
but it's a richness in a different way.
How often do you guys get out to ride?
I ride several times a week.
Great.
And I really make it a priority, especially now that I have teenagers that, you know, they both love to bike too, but they've gotten so fast that they don't want to ride with their mom anymore. I know. Like it's just not that fun for them. So, but I like to get out and pedal and
I was laughing because I haven't really been on my bike in 2 weeks, but I tend to do that.
In 2 weeks, but that's
Cina's a cyclical rider. Then she'll go hard for a while.
Yeah, I'm getting ready. I'm gonna actually do a race with my daughter in October. That Kate was like, we should do this. I'm like, okay. I need a little bit of motivation. I do a little bit of motivation and get my mojo back.
Yeah,
but
for sure. Where
I'll be back at
it. Where is the race and what's
it's at Pioneer Park. It's the Prescott Sixer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a 6-hour race, and
you literally just bike for 6 hours. Again, I don't know anything about this.
You can trade on and off.
Okay.
You can have a team, right?
Yeah. So what are you doing? The team, and your daughter?
Yeah, we're actually doing the mini-me category.
So
cute. We're going to just alternate within the 6 hours. And it's really just for fun.
Oh,
it's just like to get out there and
be with your daughter,
the community, the camaraderie, and
Absolutely.
we're gonna. It's on Halloween. We're gonna dress up.
They're gonna crush it.
Talk a little bit about the Whiskey Off-Road. I don't know if there are any other events here, but obviously that is
not on that
a
level.
Headliner. So just speak to it, and in terms of not just what it means to Prescott, but I think in the big scheme of things, it's a pretty big race, right?
I mean, I think it's super pivotal to our business and actually like what kind of developed us as riders. So a lot of like when we first started riding with that group of women that we were talking about in the beginning, we would just go out and tootle and have fun and whatever. And then some of us started to get like super into it and wanted to race and we got faster and faster. We were all on single speeds back then, so it was one gear, and we raced the non-competitive one, that the 30 or 50 mile, and then we did really well, and it kind of gave us a little bit of an encouragement to like keep riding and keep that focus, and then it just brings so much like enthusiasm and passion. It's great for business. I mean, it was really hard this year when we didn't have it. Like we felt it for sure, and I'm sure a lot of businesses did downtown, you know, from hotels to bars to restaurants to all of it. I mean, I think it's one of the like largest moneymakers events wise that we have. And
the draw that it has, the amount of people that come to Prescott, I think is really cool because it like it showcases our trails and our single track and like how cool our town is, and so
lots of pro cyclists have moved here because of that.
Makes
sense. We really do get some of the best in the world that come, and it's like, you know, I always say to my friends who don't bike, like, you got to come down and just like, you know, and experience it, because like these are some of the like strongest athletes you will ever meet in your life, or just like it's fun to watch them kind of fire in the crit, after a long race.
And Todd, when he first Sato, it started out real small, and so it's just blowing up, and it's huge. He's done a great job.
He really has.
Is that the director of Whiskey Off-Road? All right.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And so I think, you know, hopefully we get it back next year, and you know, it is really a great thing for our town. And all our kids, when they were little, like they started, you know, riding in the Whiskey Off-Road kids race, and they did like a little 2 mile and got a popsicle and went around the pump track and then rode back. And then this past year, my daughter was the varsity state champ for mountain biking in Arizona. So like you can see how the progression and how those tiny seeds can help kind of keep you moving in that way. So I can't say enough good things about it.
Awesome. There's a high school. Is it a high school team here, or a junior high team, or both?
Both, yeah. Middle school, high school.
I've never heard of mountain biking in junior high or high school.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
That's awesome. I would have thought about it pretty hard.
Yeah, there's several teams now.
Did you have any role in starting that?
We helped. So I had a meeting with a couple women that were wanting to start the middle school team. And it was kind of a lot to take on, but you know, so I called Cina and I was like, God, they asked if we wanted to coach, and so we took on that coaching role for 2 years and really developed the largest middle school mountain bike team in the Mountain West. And we worked really, really hard to get to kind of create what we thought would be, you know, like kind of a non-competitive, but like get kids involved approach. And from there, I mean, we can't even take all the credit. There's just so many fantastic coaches and teams, and the kids went and have gone to all different levels.
Awesome.
And we have really like turned out some amazing mountain bikers in Prescott. I mean, and it's wild. I mean, if you go to a NICA race in the fall, I mean, they're not this year, they're not doing them, but
they have 4,000.
We are.
Do they have but with all of them, all the kids?
I don't really think it's that. Is it that much? I don't know. I didn't hear that.
Don't quote me on that.
Yeah,
it's a bunch.
A lot. Because it's definitely in the thousands.
It's schools from all over Arizona.
Okay.
So,
but the Prescott kids dominate. They dominate, and there's several really, really good teams in this area, and like Northern Arizona in general is just really on fire right now, and it's cool to see, you know, and it's, you see these other towns like Durango, Colorado, where mountain biking has been super progressive, and you've seen how it's really helped grow the town and the economy.
Absolutely.
And there's no reason we can't be on par with them in, you know, a few short years, I think. Yeah. I mean, you know, just
you guys know
what everyone is doing and what we're pushing for, and the athletes that are coming out of this area. It's incredible.
Awesome. Yeah. You, real quick, you mentioned a downhill track or a downhill trail that you guys are going to work on.
We're not working. We had nothing to do with it. Yeah. I don't want to take any credit there.
Being developed.
Yeah.
Is that,
okay. Yeah. IMBA is bringing in a professional to put in a downhill flow single track trail.
All right.
And I keep using the word single track just in case people don't know what
it's going to be directional, and it, you know, like more high speed, more enduro, more like you know,
features, wood features and stuff like that. So a little more playful, a little more technical.
Absolutely.
But you don't have to control your speed because it's all one direction, right? So it's one up and then down. So Cool. You don't have people coming the opposite way.
Yes.
And that's had nothing to do with our efforts, but we're so stoked that it's coming, and it's like it's going to be such a great asset to the town.
I think it's over in the White Spar. White Spar campground area.
It's up past there. It's as you're headed up
Ponderosa
into Wolf Creek and that area. It's going to start up there. I don't know if you're familiar with that dirt road up there, but it's going to drop in from the top of there and down. And
awesome.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Super exciting.
No, those are the types of things that I would imagine over the coming years you may even see more. And naturally, when more people find out about this area and the culture continues to grow, that more things like that will be developed. Yeah. Which is super exciting.
It is really exciting. I mean, you can just see it, like even at the trailheads now. I don't know if it's just that there's so much smoke from the fires or everything, but there's so many people from other communities that are here to recreate and ride their bikes. So it's really cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have done a great job. I'm excited that you're a part of it.
Thank you.
And that you enjoy it.
We are too.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. A couple of things to get us wrapping up. Just talk a little bit about what it is you love about the greater Prescott area. I know you obviously mountain biking.
Yeah. I love the mountain biking. I love the weather. Is totally ideal. I actually love the quaintness of our downtown square. And just the community in a whole has been important to my family. So
that's one of the reasons I moved here.
Yeah. I mean, weather is definitely, I mean, it's pretty ideal.
I think so.
Yeah.
Do you have someone who needs to come in?
No, it's all good. I just saw him over there. I know. I was looking. She'll adjust. I think she can figure out we're occupied. Yeah. So I love the weather. I love the community. Yeah. I've met some of the most unique and special people in my life here in this town, and it's really become home. You know. So, as a former serial mover. Right. As I stated in the beginning, I've made this place home, and I've really settled in here and put some pretty deep roots. Yeah. And I mean, you can't beat the weather. We get 4 seasons.
Agree.
We get 4 seasons. We have amazing outdoor recreation here, and just really lovely people. On the whole, it's a great place to raise a family.
Exactly what you guys have said is why I moved here.
Yeah.
And is why people will continue to move here.
I know. It's so great. I love it.
Is it time for you guys to open?
I don't know.
What time is it? What time?
20 till.
Oh, she's fine. Yeah, she's fine. She can wait.
She'll wait a few minutes.
Yeah.
All right. This is the rapid fire question section. And it is exactly that. I will ask you 7 questions, and you each just give me your answer.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
Perfect.
Okay.
You already know the answer, so What's your favorite thing about Greater Prescott?
The weather.
Friends.
What's your
I like your answer. Can I do friends too?
You can give multiple answers.
Okay. Friends, weather.
What's your favorite restaurant in Greater Prescott?
Mine Mine varies depending.
I said you could say more than one.
Sometimes it's just like you just need like taco Don's. Other times you want to go chill at the Barley Hound on the patio. Sometimes you want to go to Bigga and like.
Oh, Bigga's good. The Raven, and I like Casa Sanchez because it's close to my house and they make really good margaritas. And I've been bringing my kids there since they were tiny. So
that is your jam.
It is.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, Farm Provisions, delicious.
Yes.
I mean,
Farm.
Nicole.
Oh, Pangea.
Pangea's open now, and it's just so amazing. Sorry, see, that's what we do. We talk so much that I can just say one word.
We have a lot of really good restaurants.
We do.
I am pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it.
What's the number one thing on your Greater Prescott bucket list?
Well, I don't know how greater we're getting in Prescott, but this next weekend we're going to hike into the Grand Canyon and do a backpacking trip, and I have been wanting to do that for so long. And to do it with all my badass lady friends is going to be really cool. Yeah.
Good.
I would have to say that is definitely, I'm right there with you, Kate.
I've done it, and you will look back going, I can't wait to do it again.
Really?
It's amazing.
I'm so excited. Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah.
What's your favorite trail in Prescott?
Oh. There's so many.
I enjoy Wolverton Down.
I really like the Ranch Trail. I think it's long enough that you can loop into a ton of other trails, and it's got, if you want to climb, you can do it in different directions, and it's just killer views of all over.
I like Wolverton and 326 over by Thumb Butte. I think that's a really fun downhill. I really love downhill.
Okay.
Yes. I'm shocked how much I ride the same trails, and I'm never sick of them.
Yeah.
Like, because the weather's going to change, and it's going to be great.
Yeah.
And now we can swim in some of the lakes.
I know.
It's really amazing.
That'll really probably change, too, what trails we ride, depending on the weather. Like, if some areas get a little more wet,
that's awesome.
The dirt changes.
Yeah.
But, I typically ride up at Thumb Butte.
Okay.
Just because it's right by my house. Yeah.
What are 3 words to describe living in Greater Prescott?
Home. It smells a certain way. Like I really am always reminded of that. Like every time it rains, there's a certain smell that just pops in the forest. Like when it rains. So like, what is the word? Olfactory.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And just like warmth for me.
Okay.
You know, like I just there's so many people I love here, and it's home, which is so weird because I am a transplant, but it's home.
Yeah, home is a good one. I'm just gonna say everything you said.
Stop using my words. I just go first so I can take the easy ones.
Joy.
Close your eyes and think. Real estate.
Okay.
Not kidding. I'm just. Cina's fixing up a house right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
on your mind.
Yeah. Opportunity.
Yeah. I think there's a ton of opportunity here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Great. If you weren't a bike shop owner, what would you be doing?
Retired.
It's that hard, huh?
I think I would be an interior decorator. That would be like something that I would find fun.
Yeah.
And I would do it with Kate.
Yeah.
Whatever Kate wants to do, I want to do it too.
I think I'd like to write.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
I'm not doing that with you.
Well,
just kidding.
You can come on my book tour.
Yeah.
We can hang out.
Ooh, you're coming out with a book.
No.
Yes,
Special announcement to the people.
No. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, you would be so good at that. You're so smart, and
this is what I'm doing.
Well-spoken.
Yeah. This is my real passion, and he said if we didn't do this.
Yeah.
No, I think you'd be great at it.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, you'd be a great interior decorator. Cina has a really good eye. Yeah. That's why I was laughing when we were putting bikes out and stuff. Yeah.
Your house, or that's what you're working on right now. It's probably going to be pretty cool when you're done, huh?
I mean, if I had a budget that I could work, like
true.
the endless budget, it would be how I want. Definitely. But we're just, it's just a investment property for us to rent. Okay. But I find that stuff. I find it just interesting, homes and that kind of stuff.
Last question. What's your favorite summer activity in Greater Prescott?
Mountain biking, swimming.
Kayak,
paddleboarding, supboarding.
Lately, I just at the end of the summer bought a supboard from a friend, and it is just so fun to get out on the water and paddle around and like then jump off and swim and then jump back on. I mean, it's getting to the end of the season, but I had no idea how much I'd enjoy that.
Is that a paddleboard that you're referring to? Okay.
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who's selling those in town, but you should be.
Opportunity.
There you go, right? Yeah, it's really fun.
Thanks for answering those questions.
Thank you.
Last thing.
Yes.
Tell everyone how they can get in touch with you, and I'll, of course, put all your information.
Okay.
Well, you can
tell the people.
Hey, people.
Don't forget about them.
You can come visit us at 230 South Montezuma and come check out our shop. We'd love to see you.
We're just up from the square, and we're kind of a lime green building. It's super amazing. And then just come and say hi. And then you can follow us on social media. On Soul Ride, it's Soul Ride MTB11. Oh, wait, that's our email address. Or you can email us. Yeah. You can email us at gmail.com. We love emails.
But yeah, Instagram.
Soul Ride MTB. We post every event we do. We really do. We're really good at posting what we're doing. You can follow us on Facebook. You can call the shop, and we'll answer
928-445-1662.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, at the end of the day, call the shop. They're a massive resource.
Yeah.
Whatever questions you have,
absolutely.
We're probably going to be able to point you in the right direction.
We are here for you.
Thank you.
That is well said.
Bye. If you made it this far, then come and see us.
No, you guys, thank you for speaking to the mountain bike culture and community. I'm super excited to get involved as well at some point. I mean, I've got 4 young kids that I want us to. I think it's a great activity for a family because we can't all get out.
It really
until they get to teenagers and they're way faster than you.
It doesn't matter. You could still be like, hey, it's Father's Day. We're all going on a dad ride.
No, like what a neat way to spend time together as a family and get to see the area. It's so diverse.
It really is.
Oh my gosh,
it's amazing.
Yeah.
You
could go over to Sedona if you. I mean, I think within an hour you can probably. And so many trails.
Yeah. And riding bikes kind of taps into your like inner child. So that's the cool thing is that you have it's a lifelong sport.
I would agree.
My kids play ball sports and that's awesome. My daughter now mountain bikes, but I tell her it's like, you can do this on your own. You can do it with a group of people. You can do it when you're old. Like it's for everybody. It really is for everybody.
Yeah. And I played high school golf. I would prefer actually to make the transition to mountain biking because I can go for 30 minutes if I want.
Totally.
As opposed to playing around a golf, which I enjoy, I don't have time for.
Right.
So there's a whole component of this that is
golf takes all afternoon, all day. I don't know.
Yeah, 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
that's huge. That's like the circle
unless
trail.
Unless you're retired, who has that time?
I mean, you could go do a 45-minute ride and just feel amazing. And you took time for yourself. You got out there in nature and got your yayas out.
Yeah. You guys.
I don't know why I call them that.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing everything. I'll put in all your information.
Thanks.
I look forward to people connecting with you. I look forward to hearing about how you continue to progress and create the culture.
Thank
you.
Keep
it up, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
This was really fun.
This was fun.
Thank you for watching. I'll put in all the information. Contact them if and when you have any questions. They're a fantastic resource.
Awesome.
Thank you very much for watching, everyone.
Bye.